I thought I could share the design process from my center finder or dowel placer from my last video, as you only saw the very watered down version in a sped up clip. Since then, I redesigned it to make it fully parametric for use in every slab type you have. First, I want to briefly mention my design approach to this geometric problem, since I based my design in one center hole. The number of holes will be determined by two variables: the number of holes along x-axis and the number of holes in y-axis. And if in any of these axes the number of holes is odd, there will be a row or a column of holes, or a single one, centered in that axis. If not, there will be no center row or column of holes, so I had to find a way to express this in Fusion 360. If you want a more in-depth explanation of the math formulas I use in the Fusion 360 files, I will have a link in the description below for it. Now we begin to design the piece. And since we'll be making it fully parametric, meaning that every measure will be able to be modified, we need to start defining parameters. Hole will be the diameter of every hole made. Dim X will be one of the widths of the piece of wood we'll be using, and dim Y will be the other. Hole X will be the number of columns of holes, and hole Y will be the row of holes. And both need to be a no-unit expression, or the formula will output error. Tab will be the thickness of the little tabs that will hold the printed piece to the wood, and depth will be the main thickness of the piece. AX will be the equivalent to a Boolean operator in the next formula, so it needs to be a no unit in the unit dropdown, and the same for y-axis in JY. Odd X and odd Y will be the expressions that will help center the base hole, whether it's an even or an odd number. We'll start to lay in geometry first by placing a sketch rectangle in the base plane and assigning it the dimension dim X and dim Y in the X and Y axis. Then we will extrude it by an amount depth as defined. Next, we will draw in the top left corner the first step, choosing the line tool and the upper face of the rectangle. We will assign dimensions starting with the thickness of the tab, which we define with the parameter tab, and the inner dimensions as 1/4 of the longitude in that axis. This geometry will be extruded in both directions. The amount depth and need to be created as nude body in pattern type. Now we'll create the base hole, and we'll choose again the upper rectangle face to draw in it. We draw a center diameter circle and define the diameter as hole. And we need to define the center of it from the bottom left corner, with an expression as half dim x minus odd x and half dim y minus odd y. This hole will extrude a minus depth, creating a hole through the entire piece. The next step is a rectangular pattern, with the hole as a base, the upper left edge of the piece as a direction, and the direction type as extent. The first quantity will be hole y. The distance will be dim y divided by hole y plus 1, and the direction type needs to be symmetrical. Likewise, the second pair of data will be similar, but with the x-axis variation. Last, we'll need to create the remaining tabs with the mirror tool. For this, we'll create two mid-planes between the two pairs of opposite faces of the piece, and we'll use them to mirror the tab to every corner. And it's done. Now I will show you that you can modify every dimension you want of the piece and the number of holes you add, all from the parameters window. If you're interested, there is a link in the description below to Thingiverse with an SD file and the Fusion 360 file for download, along with a link to the formulas explanations. Hope you like it, and thanks for watching.